Hello everyone, welcome back to our A Class Marble Live, and we have another guest today with us with whom we are going to have an amazing and a very interesting, interaction with. So stay connected. I will shortly connect him with us. I hope you all are doing safe and staying good, staying healthy. I will just be connecting you to our lovely guest. Thank you all for watching our live sessions. We are always getting you, some all interesting ideas so that, it keeps you engaging. Just a moment, I'm just connecting. Hello, Rajiv,
Hi,
how are you?
very good. How are you?
Hi, am I audible? I'm good too.
Yeah,
Am I
just
audible?
just setting myself. You're breaking. Hello, am I audible?
Yeah.
Okay, great,
Yeah, you're audible. Should we?
super. Yeah, absolutely.
Great, great. Welcome. And just to give all our audience a small introduction, Rajiv Khushlani is an architect, urban designer, and the founder of Khushlani Associates. He's also an alumni of KRVIA Mumbai and the Architectural Association London. Am I right?
That's correct.
Great. I would not want to take too long with this because all our audiences are waiting. Just to
Okay,
let all the audience know, the firm that you have, they carry the diverse projects in various disciplines, starting from mass housing, villas, bungalows, to interiors for high-end residents, corporates, and you have a very niche specialty in hospitality, which is not only spread in India but also in UAE and Africa. Just correct me if I've missed out on something, or if I mentioned anything.
yeah, we've done project dates in UAE and Africa, but we kind of cater to those projects from India itself.
Lo- Lovely. So we are here with you to talk on stone, which is a key attribute of interior design. So let me just first ask you, what do you think? I mean, the first thing that comes in your head when you talk about the stone.
So the first thing that comes in my mind when I talk about stone is permanence, uniqueness, because every stone is different than the other, and excitement. Frankly, I really get
Right.
excited when I see something new that kind of comes in and really start thinking of how we can use it in more innovative ways. So yeah, these are the thing kind of notions that come to my head when I
Right.
kind of hear the word stone or see something new.
We've seen that you do a lot of luxury residences, and your designs are reflective of luxury with comfort. So, while picking up any, flooring for your project, what qualities do you look forward for?
Actually, I generally believe, not just in stone, but any material, you have to keep evolving as a designer and as an architect. So, change is like the only constant. So I don't really look for a particular quality as such because I really like to kind of get surprised with something new that comes into the market. And we want to kind of push the bar in terms of what we do and also give something new to our clients. So I personally look for new launches in stone whenever I approach a new project. Having said that, there's one common quality that I look for in stone is this idea of permanence that I already mentioned. in the past. The good thing about natural materials is that they age better than synthetic ones, and stone in
Right.
that sense it kind of ages very well. So that's why I kind of like stone.
Yeah. You just mentioned that, you like to pick up the new collections out there in the market with stone, or you like to, play around with a variety of stones. So what's the recent stone that you picked up for any of your projects?
Oh, I mean, there's a lot to be quite honest. We recently picked up some Patagonia, some panda, which they also call Dalamata. I don't know what the real name is, but
Okay.
again, then the usual suspects in white and gray and browns. So, I mean, it really depends. We kind of tend to pick up more than one stone. Recently, I saw a very good lot of black Makino, and I really liked it, and we picked that up for the space. So, yeah.
So when you pick up a stone, do you also look at its pattern or texture, or I mean, how do you finalize that? Like this is the one that you need to pick up.
So sometimes we try to create interesting patterns with stone, kind of demarcating a certain space in a particular pattern, in where we tend to pick up more than one or two or three stones. We put them together, we lay it out in the mood boards and in our renders, and if they work together, then we go and look for those stones. The good thing is, every stone has its own character, and you can really
Yeah.
choose to lay it in many different ways. You can choose to book match it to give this idea of complete seamlessness, or really, I mean, if you want to accentuate each piece, don't lay it like a grid. Lay it in a brick pattern, and each piece kind of stands out. So I mean, there are many different ways in which one can approach, laying of stone. So I don't think really, I mean, there are no rules as such in terms of doing these things.
All right. So like a lot of patterns and textures in stone that people use in floorings for their projects, especially when you're doing any sort of restaurant interiors or maybe like a retail interior. So, what's your advice to our audience that how can they play with stone in their design? Also, so that it does not look too confused or like a kiosk, it should also like welcome the customer in their store or in their restaurant.
Okay, so I kind of elaborated that in the second question a little already in terms of kind of horizontal surfaces. In terms of kind of how to use stone in vertical surfaces, I would just say, I mean, you can look at the size of a particular space and look at what you want to really accentuate. Do you want to accentuate the height of a particular space, or do you want to accentuate the length of a particular space? What kind of colors do you want to play with? What is the kind of quality of natural light that is there in that space? Are you only looking at artificial light? How do you wish to highlight that stone? Do you want to use any kind of modern
Right.
techniques like CNC so that when light washes that particular piece, I mean it kind of looks different. So there's a lot of ways to kind of play with this. Then again, there is this. Then there is a question of finishes. What kind of finishes do you want? Do you want it absolutely polished? Do you want to use a leather finish, a honed finish, even in terms of granite, if you want to do a river wash granite? So there are a lot of ways in which they can be used. I would really
Right.
think that the theme of the space is really important. I mean, for example, if it's a restaurant, what is the kind of restaurant? What is the kind of mood do you have in that restaurant? You know, do you have a very casual theme, or is it a very
Right.
formal space? And then you get your answers automatically. Yeah.
Yeah. I've also seen a lot of people have started using these, but also on the walls, and have utilized these stones as a decorative pieces, like the tabletops, or
Right.
even as any decorative, like an art piece also. So, what are your thoughts on that?
So, so I think because stone has this kind of distinctive quality of being unique. I mean, it's a perfect fit for being used. Even sculpturally, and on tabletops, and because it's rare, so and durable. That's a very rare quality, right? I mean, things that are rare are delicate. Stone is both robust, it's durable, and it's rare. So I mean, it's the perfect fit for kind of using on tabletops as sculptures, even as a complementing material with wood or metal. So, yeah,
Right. You also mentioned about the CNC machines. How the with the stones and the using of CNC machine? I mean, are they both compatible? Is it easy to use stones while having the CNC machines? Do people very often use it with stones, or no? What is it like?
I think the use of technology and CNC is only increasing. It's in fact I've seen a lot of people use technology with traditional techniques as well. You use the CNC, and then you start kind of doing a little bit of hand carving with it. Sometimes leafing after you finish your CNC. So technology and like CNC and other things, it's only enhancing the way we kind of perceive stone and the use of stone. So yeah, that's kind of a welcome thing in architecture and design.
How often can we see these usage of technologies in your projects with stone?
So I mean, everywhere there's an element. Obviously there's a cost implication
Yeah.
when you're using technology. So you can't use it, in the entire project. But you use it in bits and pieces. We did a temple once where this was done, where CNC was on a white stone. CNC was used with with kind of copper leafing, and it created something like very unique in terms of a temple backdrop, which was a very different kind of way of approaching a temple than the regular things that we see in the market. Right. Currently, we're just working on this project where we're doing this bathroom where, again, using CNC to on the surface of the stone, uh, doing this entire bathroom and fluting. The beauty of that is that the stone already has, its veins, its own character running, and you're kind of putting a geometric imprint on that to create something that is completely out of the box. You love these discoveries. It's a lot of fun, I would say, to kind of play with stone.
Okay, okay. I've also seen, people use two to three combination of marbles and stones, and they combine it all together. You think that is something that should be very often, or that also has a technique how to use it?
Oh, frankly, there is no technique to how to use it. You have to keep experimenting both with material and pattern. I
Uh,
would say that we've also done that for a lobby in a project. We're doing that for another lobby right now in another project because that's a more defined space. It's kind of welcoming and attractive both. Um, I'm seeing a lot of peers use this technique now, and with really exclusive marble, and it's looking it looks very nice. This is something that kind of excites us also as a practice. This continuous experimentation with material and pattern. It's for a designer. It's always fun to work with some things like that.
the more you experiment, the more you figure out new ideas and new innovations in your design.
Absolutely.
We've also seen that, whether it is a facade or it's a flooring, a stone always brings its own versatility or character, like you've always mentioned. So, how do you use it for different surfaces, whether is it a horizontal surface or a vertical surface?
Hello. Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you hear me? Okay. I think I just told you this about horizontal and vertical surfaces both. Hello.
I,
I
I was
lost you
just
there.
I was just asking, how do you, in different surfaces, whether is it a horizontal surface or a vertical surface?
Like I said, for horizontal surfaces, I personally like to book match stone because I think, with natural stone that is possible. It gives you that idea of seamlessness. You don't see the joints in stone. So I personally like to do that when it's used in horizontal surfaces. In vertical surfaces, I try to because you can do more than horizontal surfaces. I try to play with techniques like CNC or different kind of finishes like leather finish and river wash finish, and also sometimes lay it in sort of a kind of a brick pattern, so that if you want to kind of accentuate a certain length. So these are the kind of things that we are kind of currently playing with.
Okay. We've also seen that, stone combines with a lot of materials. We see stone, we see stone with wood, we see stone with metals. So, I mean, how do you feel, as a designer, that how can stone be a complementing material, or how good is it a complementing?
I think stone kind of takes center stage. It can't be a complementing material. Other materials can complement stone. We are using stone currently both with metal and with wood. And
Yeah.
we've done that in the past also. We made a door with stone and metal, with stone and brass, and it looks phenomenal. It was something that we just experimented with. There is no wood. It's just metal and stone. It works very well. We keep it till
Right.
it's been years since we've delivered the project and still working well. Um, we are also currently kind of working on. Usually, people put stone around a wooden floor to kind of highlight the wooden floor, but we kind of doing it in the reverse way where wood is the skirting and it's around the stone floor. We're
Okay.
just experimenting with that currently. So for us, stone really takes like the center stage every time whenever we work, because I mean we have I think as a fondness, as a practice, we have certain fondness towards stone.
Nice. I recently, like before the lockdown was there, I happened to see a place which was like a retail store, and the ceiling was completely of stone. For me, it was something very different because we see these stones in the flooring or on the walls, but I've never seen something like that in ceiling. So, I mean, of course, stone is always commendable and for sure. And I think a lot of people do like your statement that it's always the center of attraction. I mean, as soon as I entered that store, my eyes were only on the ceiling.
So we've also done that for a spa in a private residence where we wanted the floor, the wall, and the ceiling to kind of to look like it's one. It was travertine, and what we did is we kind of used the veins of travertine to travel from the floor to the wall to the ceiling, and it kind of looks brilliant when it sort of
Right.
gives you that entire continuous look. So yeah, I mean, but we've just done it once. Obviously, I mean, you have to really take care when you're using it on the ceiling. What we realized is it was
Yeah.
not as easy as putting it on the render to actually execute that. It took a lot out of lot out of the contractor. So yeah, I mean, if you do that, if you put it on the ceiling, you must take a lot of care. It is a heavy material at the end of the day.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Moving on. We have seen that you aim at establishing a delicate balance between environment, design, creativity, and practicality. So, do you think stone plays an integral role in bringing out functionality as well as the creative aspect of design?
I think we have a long way to go in terms of achieving this balance between environment and design. I'm not going to make any claims of being sustainable in terms of work. We have a long way to go. We are doing it in our own little way, but we have a lot to learn and miles to go. So that is something that we also need to work on as a practice, and we kind of moving in that direction. But yeah, I mean, we always try to create this balance between creativity and practicality. We like our spaces to be functional and also stoke the senses, so in that sense. And stone, why it plays that kind of pivotal role in achieving that is because it's such a durable material. It can last you many years, generations. We've seen being used in cathedrals that were made 500 years ago.
Yeah.
Uh, uh, um, you might not even find it 20 years from now or 50 years from now. You might not find the same stone because it is rare. So, and this happened,
Right.
there's so many stones that were used in the Vatican don't exist anymore. In that sense, I guess stone plays this very important role because it is so durable. It can last you generations, and at the same time, it's unique.
Mhm.
And so it kind of achieves both.
Right, right. What's your favorite stone, or maybe what's your go-to stone that you would like to use in almost every project of yours?
Like I said when I started, I don't have favorites. My
Okay,
favorites keep changing
favorite.
every. Sorry.
I know you mentioned in your first couple of lines only that you like to play with materials, but still, your go-to stone would be which one?
It's going to change. I'll say something today. It's going to change in the next 5 months or 6 months if I see something new. So I don't want to if you would have asked me this question, and I think I've said it in another live session also, if you would have asked me this question maybe 3 years back, it would be travertine because I was kind of extensively using travertine in all our projects.
Right.
And suddenly we realized that, I mean, we don't want to get associated with, a particular stone. And that's when we realized you have to kind of move away from it. Currently, we're kind of we're using Lhasa, Bianco Lhasa for flooring. We're using certain gray varieties like Bardellio for flooring. For washrooms, we're looking at kind of a nice green onyx right now. We've already used Dalmata, which is also known as Panda. There are no favorites in stone. Every 3 months when you go out, you see something that you feel is better than what you used last. So yeah.
Totally agree. I won't push you to tell your favorite stone now.
Well, there are so many favorites. How do you choose one, right? I mean, it also depends on it also depends on the client. Sometimes client uh, tends to move towards white. Sometimes they tend to move towards gray. Sometimes they tend to move towards beige, ivory. So it
Okay.
really depends on it. Yeah.
Your time, clients' requirements, the kind of stone they would want. I was just scrolling and I just wanted our audience to shoot some questions so that Rajiv could answer it for you all. So, guys, if you have any questions,
Hi,
I think we
Bandana.
have a
Bandana is
question
here.
from Marquez. He says, oh, okay. There's a question from Markesh which says, just start Italian quality. Uh, Types, no, no, just start Italian types, quality, loose furniture, customize as per your design. Why is that so? Do we see some Italian quality of stone as well, which you use in your projects?
No, I think I think that's not a question. That's more like advertisement.
He's
I'm
just
not really
talking about
sure. Start
okay,
Italian types,
okay.
quality, loose furniture, customize as per your design. No, uh, he's actually saying that he can do loose furniture as per our design.
So,
Thank you, Malkesh. We'll connect with you at the right time.
but talking about the lobby as well, somebody was asking which marble do you use for your lobbies?
Again, I mean, there's no. It depends on. Currently, we're using white and black. Years ago, we used some beige. We've used bronze Armani. It's a combination of all these.
As a designer or as an expert, one or two got.
It. Can you come again? I'm sorry, I lost you there.
I'm saying as an expert, if you have to recommend one or two for your audience, so what would that be?
If it's Well, if it's a vertical surface, I would still say travertine. It kind of ages very well, and if your client is daring, go for an unfilled travertine, um, and for horizontal surfaces, I would say depends on the size of the lobby and the quality of light. If it's a really small lobby with less natural light, I would say go for a lighter stone, like a Carrara or Satvarietto or Satvario or even
Right.
Bianco Lassa. If it's a really large lobby, try and play with patterns with more than stone.
Okay.
The first thing is really understand the kind of space, the volume, the quality of natural light that's coming in, and then start taking these decisions.
Okay. Okay. We have one more question. Pavan is asking which country is best in Italian stone.
Sorry, which?
Country is best in Italian stone.
Which country is best in Italian stone? You said it. Your answers in your question, I would say probably Italy. But I also think Brazil has a lot of stones that are kind of new to our market. I would also say, I mean, we should, somebody suggested me, and we've been trying to do that. Look at look at Indian varieties in stone. To be very
Quite a
honest, there's some very good Indian marbles available, and some nice practices are already using it.
yes.
So yeah.
Great. Before we end up, a design stone in design.
Sorry, can you come again, please?
Before we end up, yeah, before we end up, a design tip for anyone using stone in design. What would
A design tip for anyone using stone in design. I'll give you a practical tip. Buy a little more than you need. I mean, there is always a little bit of wastage in stone. Try and preserve the wastage as well, and try to use that. Create. That's how we came up with this. Our first pattern. It was It's a very interesting story. We were using different stones in different parts of this big residence, and we were left with a few slabs. When none of that was enough for using, the entire lobby. So what we did is we created a pattern where we could use the entire wastage from, let's say, space A, B, and C, and use it. So yeah, look at different ways of using stone. Look at kind of preserving how you kind of use stone. Yeah, that's what I would say.
we have one more question. UV wants to ask what is the difference between an Italian and an imported marble?
I mean, Italian is imported marble, right? So, I mean, we see Italian is a word used for marble. That doesn't mean that all imported marble comes from Italy. There are many countries where we get our marble from. I think India being one of them, Turkey, Iran, Italy, depends on the kind of stone you want. Like I said, Brazil, US, some marbles that are coming from China, quarried in China, not processed in China, but quarried in China. So it's all imported marble. Italian is just like how we use Xerox for a photocopy. That's how Italian is kind of over the years being, because it kind of first was extensively quarried and used in Italy.
Yes. He's also asking that does thickness really matters in stone?
Yeah. I would. That's a very good question. That's one question that should be asked and spoken about. I think uh, I would personally, I recommend this to my clients. I mean, obviously it depends on their pocket, but to go for at least a 20 thick stone, because that lasts longer, doesn't crack. That is the standard being used all over the world. Um, so thickness, again, I mean, depends on what your client's budget is. It does matter, but
Yes.
that's like a budget call. If budget is not an issue, I would always go with at least a 20 thick marble.
Great, great. Okay, I think there are no more questions.
All
Great,
right.
Rajiv. It was
Thank you.
lovely having you,
All
and
right.
you've given us so much us about versatility of stone. How do you especially use them horizontally or vertically? And it was lovely having you here. Thank you. I hope
Same here.
you're
Thank you
staying
so much.
safe. And all right. Thank you so much.
Cheers. Take
Thanks.
care. Thank you so
Bye.
much. Bye bye.